Starring Bela Day in But Ma, that's my favorite movie. Oh, well, all right. But don't you spend too much time in front of that TV, do you hear me? Yes, Ma. Hello, everybody. I hope today is treating you well. Happy New Year! We are currently in 2021, and this is the second season of But Ma, That's My Favorite Movie. And I am your host, B. Lede. Oh, stop it. No. Stop. Oh, you're making me blush. Keep going. Yes, we are in the second season. We have made it. I am so excited. I am thrilled. And there has just been nothing but good things, happening as far as the podcast goes. And I'm just super excited. Okay. It's the first episode of the second season, but it's the 33rd episode. So I'm not going to start over the numbers when I start a new season. I'm going to continue the numbers, but it will be broken up in seasons each year. All right. And so we started towards the middle of last year, which was June 5th. I think it was June 5th. And so this year we're starting a lot sooner in the year. So we're going to have a bunch of episodes for you to be prepared for. So get ready to put your listening cap on because I got some really cool things planned. All right. So it is time to thank my listeners. And if you are a new listener, this is what I do in every episode because I would not have any gratification. I would not have any idea of how this podcast is doing if I wasn't getting any listens. Okay. So first and foremost, if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for coming back. You are a real one, period. Now, if you are a new listener, and you know what? I know there's a bunch of new listeners out there. A lot of new listeners. And I am so excited that you're here. I'm so excited you're giving my podcast a chance and that you are just being there and just listening to me. And I just cannot tell you thank you enough. So if you're a returning listener, thank you. If you are a new listener to the podcast, thank you. I appreciate all of the listens that I get. And it's so overwhelming because I've gone through so much with this podcast, and the fact that I am still going strong, the fact that I'm on the 33rd episode is just such a victory for me, and it makes me so happy because it gets super hard to stick to things and to be consistent, and this is something that I've really stuck to. And it's something I love doing. And I just really appreciate, all of the blessings that have been coming to me. I really, really do. All right. Now, okay, something new I'm going to start plugging in this year because a sister got a website. Well, I've been having a website, but I've never really plugged it. And so I'm just going to do a little shameless plug. Now, if you have any movie suggestions or theme suggestions, go ahead and submit them at the butmathatsmyfavoritemovie.com website. So if you go to the website, at the bottom of the homepage, it's a section where it says submit your movie/theme suggestions, and you'll put your name, your email, and add a message. Now, I have the email there. So let's say if I need to get back in contact with you because let's say something is wonky on the message, or if I have trouble finding the movie, or maybe I already have, my podcast planned out and I'll kind of ask you some questions or anything. If I need to follow up for whatever reason, I would appreciate your email. Now, I know you may want to be anonymous and may not feel comfortable giving an email, but I'm not sure if you can bypass that. But ideally, please just put in the email your name, and then you can suggest a theme. So I have two main things. I talk about one movie that I just feel so passionate about that I just need to dedicate an episode to, or I do themes where I'll talk about 2 different movies that fit within that theme. So if you have a theme suggestion, you can do that. If you have a theme and maybe 2 movies that you think I should talk about, we could do that. Or if you have a movie you absolutely love and you would just love for me to share that with other people, then I would be happy to do that as well. And so, yeah, so go ahead and submit that on the butmathatsmyfavoritemovie.com website. And I'm going to be adding some stuff to the website. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Cause I want to have, of course, more interaction with the freaking website, because yes, they're social media sites, but there's nothing like having one solid place that people can go to. So I will definitely see, what else I would like to add to that website there. All right. So, I know you want to get into the episode. We want to get to the nitty gritty, the meat and potatoes of it all, right? So I have something really cool to share with you after I talk about the movies, which is actually me telling you about a little contest that I'm going to be doing. So if you hang tight, get through the episode, you're going to hear about a contest that I'm going to be doing for all of my listeners. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. But first, let's go ahead and get into the title of this episode today. If you haven't seen it already, it is But Ma, That's My Nana's Favorite Movie. So, just kind of taking a little down a couple notches, because so initially I had wanted to come back a lot sooner, and I was not able to. Because my Nana, she had went to the hospital on the 8th. Okay. So this was like the day after her birthday, and she just suddenly fell super ill, and she had passed away on the 11th. And so all of last week I had to be with my mom to help her take care of things that needed to be done with my Nana's apartment and such. And it was a lot, but the process was just super smooth. So needless to say, I was dealing with, grieving, getting some stuff in order. And so I wasn't able to come back as soon as I wanted to with the podcast. And quite frankly, when you're dealing with a death that's close to you, it's hard to feel motivated to do anything. And that's just me having a real moment corner. And so I wanted to do an episode dedicated to what I called her towards the end. I called her my Nana Banana because I just thought that sounded funny and cute. But yeah, I called her my Nana Banana. And I just want to say a few things about her. Well, one, my Nana was super opinionated. She was very independent. My Nana had health complications. She was a double amputee. She had like triple bypass surgery some years ago. She was also on dialysis. So she had a lot of health complications already. But when this happened in particular, it was very sudden, and it just happened really fast, and we just were not expecting it. And my Nana's been in and out of the hospital, whether she was just feeling sick or, just, it was always something. And, my Nana, she was in pain, and, she had to deal with a lot of things, and, it wasn't easy for her. And, unfortunately we weren't able to, go down there and be with her because, we live in Texas, but, freaking driving around in Texas is like you're going to another state. So everything's really spaced apart. And so, but for the most part, my Nana, she was a very independent person. She didn't let anything get her down. She loved her cigarettes, her wine. And I actually, there's this one drink that I actually was drinking for a while because my Nana, she loved her some E&J. Hello, everyone. This is Bila Day. Sorry to interrupt this episode, but I just wanted to let you know that you were only listening to a preview. So if you would like to listen to the rest of this episode, then you can definitely go to the website, butmathatsmyfavoritemovie.com, or you can go directly to any of these platforms for the full episode. We are available on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Castbox. Please don't hesitate to follow the podcast on any of those platforms so that you can be notified anytime a new episode is available. If you didn't know, our primary release day is every Thursday, but be on the lookout for bonus content as well. Now, if you've listened to the But Ma, That's My Favorite Movie podcast before, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. So if you have a friend that loves movies like we do, then definitely go ahead and share this podcast with them. And if you're a new listener and you do end up enjoying the podcast, well, then you go ahead and share with a friend too. Also, don't forget to like any of our social media pages so that you can also get updates and regular information about the podcast and about any of the episodes that are coming up. The social media sites that we have a presence on are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also, if you want to leave a review, whether constructive or positive, we'd appreciate that too. All right, go ahead and get over to one of the other platforms so we can finish getting into the rest of these movies.